Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
We're the Marvelous Donahues, and today we're not going to do our usual bumper because we're going to be talking about a serious subject today. But we also want you to know that we'll be talking about this Moon Knight episode in the context is in which it was given or that they performed it.
Mental health is a very serious subject, and we take it as such. And this episode is gonna deal a lot with mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathy and I have had collectively at least 3 friends we know of die from suicide. So it's been very important to us to make sure that people get the help they need. And at the bottom of the screen, bottom of our video here, we're going to put the National Suicide Hotline number. So if anyone needs mental health services or mental health assistance, they can get that. So this is going to be a little bit different video today than some of our others.
It will. But we hope you enjoy it and get everything that we're trying to express with it. But like I said, it's going to be discussed within the context of the show. And we wish everyone the best. And remember that if you feel like you need help, dial the Suicide Prevention Hotline and reach out to friends or family.
Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy this episode.
Take care. How's it going today?
If you don't already know, my name's Kathy.
My name's Tom.
And we're the Marvelous Donahues.
Marvelheads. Welcome.
Welcome, everybody. If you're new here, we're the Marvelous Donahues, and we do a review show of DisneyPlus television series that we put out on every Sunday, or almost every Sunday.
Almost every Sunday. We're not perfect. It's an art, not a science.
It's not. And guess what, you guys? We're on episode 4, right? Oh, 5, yeah. Episode 5.
She's having so much fun. I'm just going to tell you, my wife,
gosh.
She's having so much fun in this. She wanted to do 4.
I know, over again.
So this would be 4 part 2, but in this case, it's just going to be, we're going to skip that.
Yeah. It'll just be 5.
Oh, my hands are working this week, everybody. If you remember from last video, I think I need a doctor for fingers or something.
I don't know, but my mouth is still needs some help. But you guys know how I am. I'm completely real that we don't get everything right, and we're not doing any do-overs, retakes, cuts, splices, nothing.
This is almost completely unedited and be honest, really unrehearsed.
Right. We do have notes, though.
We have a script called Flying by the Seat of Our Pants.
No, we are not that unscripted. Woo. Sometimes we are, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
Sometimes.
But if you like this sort of thing where people are laughing, having a good time, talking a lot, making no sense. If you know any of the characters of the show, tell them to stop by if they want an interview on the show. Yeah, we love that. We love that.
Oscar Isaac or what's his name? Ethan Hawke.
Oh gosh,
Ethan,
you know
if you're
what?
Watching, maybe you are.
He is so good in this. Guess what? I'm gonna tweet this out to Ethan because I'm telling you, he is so good in this. But we digress. But if you like this sort of thing, please give us a thumbs up so we can make it in that algorithm, you guys.
Right.
We are totally stuck. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we've been stuck at 26 a little bit too long. So if you're tuning in and you're watching and you're laughing and you're having a good time.
And you're not subscribing.
Please subscribe.
Just examine your life a little bit.
Examine your life, okay? He's like, look, you
that's going to be a theme
serious
in this episode, so I'm not going to tell too much now, but we will get into that.
Yes, but you guys, a thumbs up would help. So if you're watching it, we need some thumbs up.
Give an example of what that looks like. There you go.
We need some thumbs up because we want to get into that algorithm, and we want just to share with everyone. We can't just keep keeping up in our little space, but we love you guys.
We do love you, and we thank you for your patronage and your viewership.
I know.
And if you know anybody, anybody you like in your life, anybody who's popular with you, anybody you don't like, just anybody that you just have them come watch us because we're
fun.
We're a lot of fun.
I know. We're fun. We're fun. I'm looking down, people, because I'm like, okay, we need to get started. So let's do a quick recap of episode 4.
Buckle up, buttercups, because this is...
Sometimes I'm like, he come from the 1950s. Okay. All right, guys.
Buckle up, because this is going to be... We're going to unpack this thing, hopefully in a few minutes here. But anyway, so we pick up with our... I guess, what do we call them? Anti-heroes? We call Stephen and Mark being anti-heroes?
Well, we have to make sure, you guys, we're recapping the end of episode 4 because we don't like to give at least the ending away. We are going to have some spoilers, but we save the ending for our next episode.
That's right. If you haven't watched 4 yet, you need to stop right this very second. Stop watching our video and go back to 4 and watch that. And then just pick up magically. Pick up where you left off right this second. So...
I don't know about magic. But anyway, let's do a quick recap and let's get her going.
Yep, so Stephen is shot.
Yes.
And he's shot by Harrow, of course. Whoever would have guessed that.
Yes.
And then the strangest thing appears in an asylum.
He does.
Like a mental hospital.
He does.
And the interesting thing is that a lot of the main characters, well, a few of the main characters, Stephen, Mark, and Harrow, and Layla's for a brief period of time, they appear... They're in different roles.
Right.
Mark Stephen, if you want to call him that, is a patient. Layla kind of looked like a patient.
No, she was a patient too.
And Harrow, a psychiatrist-looking type.
Right. Yeah, he is a psychiatrist.
Who, funny enough, is characterized as being like Ned Flanders, which is kind of a funny part of the show. So
that's what Stephen says.
There.
And the thing of it is, the asylum looks like a tomb.
Yeah.
You know, you look around the office, it's got all of these little statues and, what do you call them?
Artifacts. Things from Egypt, from like ancient Egypt and stuff.
And so, Harold's like talking to him, but Mark, I might get him confused because this episode they go back and forth, so it was a little bit confusing. So Mark ends up in that, even though Stephen was the one that was shot in reality, Mark ends up in the fictional asylum in his brain.
Right.
So he gets up and he's like, I'm not having none of this. And he escapes and runs out into the hallway. And he hears like a knocking noise. Boom, 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 boom. And he looks in the room and there's like a King Tut sarcophagus.
Like a sarcophagus of some sort. And it's Stephen.
Yeah, inside.
Yeah. And this is the first time that if you watched our last episode, I talked about the attributes of one person and the attributes of another personality. When they come together, they make the whole person, or can be considered making the whole person. And this is now where each are standing on their own attribute, if you want to call it that.
And they were both surprised. They were like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be inside of me. And I believe that because they're dead, that we're split into two different people because they're dead.
Yeah. So they're running around like crazy men. I hate to use the word crazy men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, they're running around and trying to make sense of everything. And of course, they run into what's more logical than a hippo.
A large hippo.
Which I was like, at the end of episode 4, we're like, going a hippo. But
yeah.
Anyway,
it's
worked.
cute though.
So she is a guide keeper or a guider. Into the Egyptian underworld, it turns out, and is going to take them to the field of reeds.
Right. So now we're getting to episode 2, where it starts again, where it seems like this episode and the last episode are very intertwined.
It is.
So I cannot remember the name of the goddess of the hippo, but we might put it in here somewhere when we do the recap. But she's there, and she's like, welcome, and she was like, wait, I thought I was supposed to be picking up just one of you guys.
Yeah.
And she's like, she looks through, she's like, are you twins? And then they both like, yeah, sort of. She was like, okay, this is something different. So she's like flipping through her cards and trying to figure out what she's supposed to do and say.
She's funny.
And then finally she announced Tom. What did she tell him?
Oh, she says, you guys are quite dead.
Yes.
You're dead. You're quite dead.
And what she ended up saying was that the reason why that it looked like an asylum, because what did she write down?
Well, I just said I'm looking at my notes,
Yeah.
everybody. So you know the scales of life need to be balanced, but I'm making this. I don't want to call it a projection, but this reality, if you want to call it that, for the asylum, is something we felt that you'd be comfortable in.
Right, right. So, and Stephen was like, "Why would we be comfortable in asylum?" Mark go, "Cause we crazy. We're
that's right.
insane. We're we don't know what we're doing." And
Remember
Stephen's
last
like,
episode,
"What?"
Mark even confessed, "Hey, I need help." Remember
Right,
that?
he did.
Remember that?
He
So-
did. So they're in this asylum because the hippo and the gods decided that this would be an uncomfortable environment for
Yes.
them. So it is called the Egyptian underworld.
Egyptian underworld, yeah.
And she's here to take them to the field of reeds.
And it looked like it was weird. It looked kind of like a Viking longboat or something.
Oh
It was
yeah, well we
really-
haven't gotten to that part
Yeah.
yet. That's when they do that. That's when they finally get to see, because what Mark says is, before they go out and he actually discovered
Yeah.
and look at the boat, he's like, this is not true. Or I'm just gonna step through this door and I'm gonna be outside.
Yeah.
He steps through the door and he's out into the underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so she's just talking about the scales, and if you remember the last episodes in the series, Harrow had was weighing,
Yes.
measuring people with those scales. So you can't see my hands, but
They had scale tattoos.
Yes.
And then Harold would use a staff of some sort. So if you did not have a balanced scale of good and evil, he'd like kill you. He'd like,
Right.
Some people like, oh, you're fine, don't worry about it. Then everybody else, he'd kill them.
Yeah.
So that's what she's doing. So she reaches in and she takes the heart of each one of them,
Right.
and she goes to put it on the scale. But before that, she was like, something's wrong with these hearts. They seem incomplete, or something's missing.
Right. And we find out that there's a reckoning that Mark and Stephen, if Mark, Stephen, what do you want to call it, they're going to delve into. You look beautiful today, honey.
No, my shirt's ain't crooked. I'm sorry, you guys.
That they're going to delve into the past, and this is what we talked about at the very beginning of the video. That we're going to start to see things about the past of Mark.
Right. So she said, not verbatim, but she said, listen, when she did the scales, they were unbalanced. She was like, the reason why these scales are unbalanced is because there's some unsolved business.
Yeah, unfinished business.
Yeah.
Unresolved issues. I guess is the words we use today.
Yeah. So she said, listen, if you don't resolve these issues, you guys are going to end up out here in the sands, in the underworld, of people that are evil and their scales don't balance.
Right.
So you better get back in. They're standing on the bow of the boat to take them to the other place, to the field. And it said, get back in there and see what secrets you're hiding. Mark was like, I don't have no secrets. I don't know. I just want to, and he started talking about, he wanted to kill the hippo and take the ship. And this is, and Stephen's
I like the hippo. She's very nice.
Yeah, Steve was like, what? Dude, what are you talking about? I killed a hippo. Oh, I'm sure we can do this.
Yeah.
He did not want to conquer those unresolved issues that he was willing to kill for them.
Yeah.
So this is where we see them go back inside and try to see what was wrong.
Yeah. So they do kind of a deep dive into Mark's life, and we find out it's very sad news, very sad situations where Mark's brother, named Roro, they went to the caves one day, and it started to rain, and Roro didn't really want to go, but Mark's like, oh, let's go, it'll be a baby, and long story short, Roro drowns.
Yeah, Mark's brother drowned.
Yeah, he drowns.
And it was super sad.
It was sad.
And his mom blamed Mark for the son's death.
Yeah.
And as he grew up, I think this happened when he was about 9 or 10, you saw his mom become very abusive.
Yeah, become like a drunk.
Yeah.
Become very abusive physically and mentally.
And mentally to Mark. And this is where we find out that Mark develops this, and it's called, you guys, I know I've said before, I'm a licensed graduate social worker, and part of my degree involved clinical training, and this is called dissociative disorder, identity disorder. And this is when the mind has gone through so much trauma that they actually disassociate themselves to keep themselves from feeling the pain and the trauma. Mark's case is extreme. Very few people have the dissociative identity disorder the way he has it, but it is a real thing, you know.
Right.
And he did that because he didn't want to feel the abuse of his mom, so he invented another person at the age of like 12 or 10 or something to take the beatings and abuse of his mom. So when he became scared, he turned into this character from a movie called Stephen Grant to protect him. To protect himself from just the pain that he was going through. And that was one of the secrets, or the secret that he was trying to keep from Stephen, that Stephen realized when he was up in the room, hey, I'm not real. And that shook him to his core, because he thought he was a real person, but he was just invented by Mark.
I think the interesting thing about this, and we talked about mental health being very important to make sure you're safe and taken care of, but the thing I thought was very interesting about this is that Mark and Stephen, being separate people, had to come back together through really coming to grips or terms with their past.
Right.
Which many of us do.
Exactly. And also during that time, after that realization, Stephen got a chance to see how Mark became the Moon Knight with Khonshu.
Right.
That he was almost dead, that he was actually trying to protect the tomb diggers, in which one was Layla's father, and he himself was mortally wounded until Khonshu saved him. He was about to commit suicide.
Right. In fact, at the beginning of this series, beginning of our video series, you even said that, I think Mark was like a soldier or something. We didn't. I don't think it was evident back then.
Yeah, well, episode 1 or 2, he explained that. I think it may have been 2.
Okay.
That he explained that I was a soldier. He was talking to Mark in the mirror, or Stephen in the mirror. And they had lost the scarab, and he was saying why he was doing it a little bit. But this episode has so many twists and turns in it, and it was so rich and so good.
It was meaty. It was very. I liked the cinematography. There's a couple things I really liked. The humor about Ned Flanders, that was cute. Ethan Hawke, look, if you're out there, my brother, you are really, you and Oscar Isaac should get some Emmy awards.
Yeah,
because you guys really did a great job in this series, and so far. We haven't finished it yet, of course, but anyway, it was the cinematography was great. The treatment of the mental illness and just really being straightforward about it.
And being able to dive in to see what those are called triggers that prompted him to become Stephen, and learning more about it. And then in the interim, just a little bit more. We don't want to give away too much.
Right.
The forgiveness that Stephen was able to help Mark to find was paramount in helping and with conquering mental illness and talking about it. Exactly. But you guys, we love this episode.
This was a very, very moving for us personally, because we knew folks that had some mental challenges. That this was very, very strong for us. And, we hope you enjoyed it. And we want you to like, subscribe, of course, comment, but really comment seriously about what you thought about the episode. What were your thoughts about?
Yes, please do. And again, we will put the suicide hotline down below here. And you guys, we want you to be safe. And that's all we have for now. I'm Kathy.
I'm Tom.
And we're the Marvelous Donahues.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.